Hello and welcome to the 16th episode of the Moonbase podcast. Today we're talking with Quirky Blurky again, and because we had some audio issues, like we just got disconnected, so it ended up making it a pretty good and easy way to split the episode. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy after a quick word from our sponsors. Attention listeners. Have you ever felt lost in the world of kinks and domination? Wondering how to find that special dominatrix who understands your unique desires? Well, folks, you're in luck because we've got the ultimate guide for you. Introducing Finding the Right Dominatrix for You, a Naughty Navigator's Handbook, the book that'll help you whip your love life into shape. Inside these pages, you'll embark on one tantalizing journey of self-discovery and exploration. Our author, the illustrious Mistress Moxie, is here to be your dominatrix matchmaker extraordinaire. Learn how to craft the perfect submissive dating profile and master the art of the intriguing safe word. Whether you're into light bondage or something a little bit more adventurous, Mistress Moxie has got you covered, and she's not afraid to crack the whip. Of knowledge, that is. But that's not all. In Finding the Right Dominatrix for You, you'll find expert advice on choosing the ideal dungeon decor, safe BDSM practices, and how to negotiate boundaries, because consent is always sexy. Plus, we've got a bonus chapter on dominoes and dominance. Spice up your pizza night, and you won't believe how much fun you can have with pepperoni. So, if you're ready to surrender to the sultry world of domination and submission, don't wait any longer. Get your hands on Finding the Right Dominatrix for You today, and start your journey towards the perfect Dom-Sub relationship. Remember folks, love comes in all shapes and sizes and leather outfits, so why not make your love life a little more thrilling? Dive into the world of kinks and passions with Mistress Moxie's expert guidance. Order your copy now at dominatrixhandbook.com, and may your safe words be ever creative. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How's
Good.
how's Oregon treating you?
It's been pretty good. I'm starting to get a little domesticated here.
Domesticated?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
What's the living situation looking like?
Oh, well, I'm staying at my sister's sometimes, but the landlord's a little weird, so.
Okay, right on. So you're you get some creature comforts every once in a while?
Yeah, it's been nice, to be
Nice.
honest.
What's new? What?
How you been?
I'm good, yeah. Just finished up working. I finished up the contract that I was doing, so I might be heading out west pretty soon, which is pretty exciting.
But where out west?
I was thinking Calgary, I looked it up and it's $160 for a bus ticket to get there, so that's not bad. And it's like a 3-day trip, so I'm pretty much just hanging out and sleeping in the bus and, pre-pack some sandwiches or whatever and have a time. Some beers.
Yeah, well, I'd say Calgary's a lot better than Toronto, so.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of the city. It's too crammed, and it's kind of getting to the point where the infrastructure it isn't built for how many people are living here. So if you're trying to get somewhere, it takes you 2 hours,
Yeah. Yeah, Toronto, well, I remember when I was there, it was kind of overwhelming,
Yeah,
Too
for
much.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
I'm hoping.
Calgary was much better.
Yeah, I signed up. I don't know. Do you know woofing?
Yeah.
I signed up for a year membership, so I was thinking of like seeing what I could find on there out west too, 'cause that would be kind of nice, just like even a month or two to spend some time at a farm or something like that.
Yeah, you could even work at the resorts up in like Jasper and Banff and all that.
Like for skiing or
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that'd be
you're always
pretty
looking for
cool.
people, and they give you housing.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into that. Yeah, 'cause I have like my first aid and stuff like that. I think the one I got from the military's expired, but it's pretty easy to requalify. Yeah, so yeah, I'll definitely check out the ski resorts there. Um,
Yeah, but I haven't been there myself, but I hear that Jasper and Banff are really nice places.
I've been to Banff before, I just haven't been to Calgary.
Oh, have you? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
it's
haven't been to Calgary?
no, but it's pretty nice, like up there. When I went, there was this truck that had a bunch of like a full lumber load. I think it was actually cut into planks and it rolled over the highway, so I just ended up spending like 4 or 5 hours stuck on this road just in the middle of the mountains. And I just like got out of the car and was walking around enjoying like the view and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't even bad. Like, I'd rather be in a situation like that than even like a 2 hour traffic jam in Toronto.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I sat next to the gardener, perched up on one of the parks, one of the elevated parks there, and just took video of the gardener for like an hour, and it was just endless traffic.
That's wild. Yeah, like one time I was driving through Scarborough and it was supposed to take me like a 20 or 30 minutes to cross the area I was going through. It took me like an hour and 40 or 2 hours, I think.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like now being on foot is kind of better because you get more like liberty. I don't have any place to really be at any certain time, so what's the worry?
Yeah,
Like,
we
pardon?
don't have to deal with parking and all that.
Yeah, like there's no reason to get worked up about anything. Like, there's nowhere to be at a particular time, and I can go at whatever pace I want.
Yeah, a lot better that way. I don't like cars myself. I wouldn't. I mean, I might drive again in the future, but I'm a little hesitant about it.
Why is
But good
that?
news though. Okay,
Par-
so
oh,
I got in an accident back in 2018, and my car flipped over 3 times,
I. Th-
and it was really bad.
oh yeah, yeah.
I
Being in a car.
think I told you about that.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that in a previous podcast. It definitely shakes you up a bit.
Yeah, it does. Especially, it was partially my fault, so I'm a little weary to get behind the wheel because I don't want to hurt people or myself. But anyways, good news. A couple days ago, the lawyers got back to me, and apparently the case has been settled because I got sued,
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't owe any money on it, so it's been a big relief.
I
It's been a
don't.
great week.
I don't know if you mentioned that last time. What were you getting sued for?
No, no. Okay, so BC, right? I mean, so when I got served, they gave me the papers and they listed neck injury, eye injury, PTSD, shoulder injury, hip injury, knee injury, foot injury, just everything, So it was a little far-fetched the whole time. But I guess the other lawyer was getting paid by them, so I think he wanted to stretch it out as long as he could, you know?
Okay.
And I guess he got paid the whole time, and it's been going on since 2018, so that's like 5 years. So,
Is that related to the car accident?
yeah. In
Okay.
fact, I got sued twice. Once from the driver, and that was in 2019. No, 2018. It was just before Christmas 2018 when he started the papers. The accident was in November 28th, or on November 28th. So about a month after he sued me. And then a year after that, in 2019, when I was all the way back in Winnipeg, the passenger sued me too. I think it was to keep it ongoing, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I was standing to lose a lot if I lost the case, but I didn't, so.
That's good to hear. How did you deal with that, just being on the road and like having to do like legal work?
I just forgot about it. I contacted my lawyer once in a while. It was, I was insured publicly through ICBC, so she did most of the work. But she was kind of getting a little weird at the end, like I was going to lose. So I did the research myself. I went over all the paperwork, and I found a few discrepancies, and I asked her about them. And 2 days later, they came back with they settled the case. So there might have been a little bit of fraud involved. I don't know. I don't really care about it anymore because I'm glad that it's in the past now. So it is what it is. It's BC, you know. BC's like that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that they would just try and ruin your life over some like amount of money, you know?
Yeah. Not only that. Okay, so right after the accident, they towed the vehicle away to a wrecking yard.
Yeah.
It had all my stuff in it because I was moving from Vancouver to Winnipeg, and I went to go to the wrecking yard to get my stuff, and they wouldn't let me go into my car unless I paid them $300. And that wasn't it. Okay, so they said you need to pay us $300, and you need to sign over your car to us. Now I was all shaken up from the accident. It was the first time I ever had an accident. I didn't know legally where I stood or whatever, so I just signed it over, and they stole my car.
Oh wow, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
When I had my accident and my car was impounded, they let me go and get stuff from it, but then by the end of the like impound term, I just figured like the car was totaled and everything, so there was no real reason for me to like want to get it back, you know.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So I just figured, yeah. Pardon?
But I probably dodged a bullet too there, because what would I have done with a wrecked vehicle, you know?
Yeah,
I
like
wrote it off, but then I would have been responsible for it.
there's no point at a certain like amount of damage to get it brought out, you know.
Yeah. What happened in your accident?
With the whole wall
You
thing.
told me that. Yeah,
Yeah, with my
you hit the
tongue.
wall. Yeah, you crashed into the wall. I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I went all the way down to Texas with that car. It was like my baby for a bit there, and I was just living out of it, and then was going to charge my phone around this Walmart, and then I had like a bunch of crap just all in my car, and then it all spilled over when I was turning this one right turn, and then it all just like fell around the gas and the brake, and it hit the gas, so we were going.
Yeah, yeah. Vehicles can be dangerous.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how like integrated they are for how dangerous they are. Like now it almost is like an impediment to not have a vehicle, you know, whereas back in the day everyone was like, yeah, I just walk to the store, I walk to my work. I don't need this thing, but as soon as cars got more and more popular, then cities kind of started getting designed around their use.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's almost required to have a good job.
Yeah, yeah. It depends though. I find the people that really need to have a good job are the ones that can't live without comfort, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
What, like, I've been looking into, like, bush crafting and stuff like that, and, like, going out and testing out different things, and I think if you get to, like, a level of proficiency, you don't need anything, you know?
Okay, you cut out there for a second. Just repeat that.
Like, I was looking into bushcraft and stuff, and I think if you get into a level of proficiency there, then you don't really need anything else.
Yeah, I agree.
Not that
It's really cool.
not that anyone would necessarily want to just like be living eating like dried meats and like making glue out of pine sap, but you can do it, and I think it's like a pretty good skill to have.
Well, I don't know. I've known a few guys that have done that, and like on and off, not like full time, but and they really enjoy it. It's a freeing experience. It's really independent, you know.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard too that you get like in tune with everything because when you're living in like the city, for example, you're just seeing ad after ad or thing after thing that has no relation to you, so your brain just starts to block out like 95% of what's going on around it. But when you're in that environment, like everything in that natural environment is generally relevant to you, you know? So you just start like knowing
Yeah,
more and paying more attention.
yeah. Every time I watch a YouTube video and the ads pop up, it just upsets me. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like most of your brain's energy in like civilization, I guess, is used to block things out because it's not useful to you. Like, I don't care about a Nordstrom sale, you know, if I see that ad, my brain automatically blocks it out. But when you spend enough time there, I've heard even of people like knowing when certain types of birds come into their area, like the valley, that aren't local or native because they know like all the calls that they usually hear.
Yeah, yeah. You just become one with the environment, you know. The At least from what I've heard, you know. I haven't really done that myself. I was more urban when I did all my adventures there.
In BC?
No, just all around the United States and everywhere I went.
Okay.
I didn't. I went to like maybe 2 or 3 small towns the whole time, but that was about as rural as it got. It was just
Okay.
all big cities to me because I wanted to tick off all the big stuff, you know.
Like
All those
sightseeing
big cities
wise?
that I want to go to. Yeah, my
Okay.
dad's from Philly, and I wanted to go check out all of that too, and then New York and Chicago and all that. Like I still want to go to Houston and Detroit and a few other big places that I haven't been to. Minneapolis.
I've heard Houston's pretty cool. I want to go down there for Slab Day.
For what?
It's like
What's
they're
that?
called slabs, so they're this kind of like car. It's like an old style muscle car or like a Cadillac, but these dudes will like fully like customize them and have them have full hydraulic systems, and if you pop the trunk there'll be like a neon display, and they have everything like pretty much just souped up on the cars where like wood grain and everything. It's I don't know, it's like a Houston and like southern Texas specific thing. And Tennessee does it a lot
Oh, okay.
too. When I went to
Oh, yeah,
Waco,
that's
there
cool.
were guys that had slabs around that area.
What was Waco like?
Um, I had a trailer at the time, so I spent a lot of the time in the Walmart parking lot there. It was pretty chill. I went to the actual Waco site though, like where the government like went and hit that compound there.
Yeah.
They rebuilt it all, and some people saw me while I was there, and they just like waved, and they were all like friendly. There was a museum that I tried to visit, but I didn't end up being able to see it because it was closed on the day I went.
Uh,
But
well, at least you
yeah,
got to see it. That's cool.
yeah, I looked into it after too, and they still have that main guy, like David Koresh. He's like a prophet in their version of, I don't know if it's like Christianity or Catholicism or whatnot, but they still think he was a prophet.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, if you hear some of the interviews that he did, he was pretty wise. Not that I'd follow him, but he had some good knowledge.
Yeah, I don't think like the philosophy and like the reason that they came was wrong, but also there is enough evidence of him doing like some pretty questionable things too. But that isn't even the
Yeah.
reason that they came to like raid the compound.
Well, I don't know if you know anything about the Pilgrims, but if you read about them, they did some pretty questionable things too, and America celebrates them, so.
Okay, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole state of Texas was started questionably. They started with like pilgrims and pioneers and paid them to expand and take out a big part of Mexico.
Yep. Yeah, the Mexican-American War was pretty hardcore, from what I read.
I wanted to see the Alamo too, but it was another like 8 hour drive to get to it. And then when I looked online too, it was like you kind of just show up there, you see the Alamo, and then that's that. So I didn't end up going there.
Not worth it for the gas money and the time.
Yeah, exactly. It would have cost me like I don't know, maybe like $200 or something, just to get down there.
Yeah. And you've been to Austin, though, right?
Where, to the US?
I remember you. Yeah, in Austin?
No, I only went once just to like go down there and check out those MMA gyms.
Yeah. The
I
dude said it was a cool place, though, right?
Yeah, I don't know how it would be though if you're just like on the street because I've also heard that like Texas can be kind of like they can be dickish law
Yeah.
like legally wise.
Yeah, Texas is pretty hardcore. The sheriffs there don't like homeless people. Same with Florida, for the most part, especially in the north. But you can get around it. All you gotta do is blend in.
Yeah, yeah. Like the trailer kind of made it easy, right? Because you're just staying at a Cracker Barrel or a Walmart where you're allowed to be, and they just assume you're on some trip going somewhere. So
Yeah.
it was cool too seeing
Have
all
you
the
ever eaten at a
snowbirds.
Cracker Barrel?
Pardon?
You ever eaten at? So have you ever eaten at a Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, a couple times, but I can't say like
How is it?
I don't know. I feel like just the food there, like I kind of felt sick after just 'cause like everything's deep fried.
Uh,
Like everything is like gravy, biscuits, and like fried chicken or like a chuck steak.
yeah, it's all that like super American give you a heart attack food.
Yeah, it's just super heavy and like after I ate it, like and I've eaten different things there too and a lot of the times after I just felt like I just ate like a big bag of glue or something. I don't even know how to describe it.
All right, well, note to self, don't go there.
I mean, try it once or twice maybe, but I don't like there are people that when I was like living in the parking lot there are people that you can tell are just regulars to coming to Cracker Barrel. They'll like come with their whole family every like Saturday or Sunday morning and just by like seeing them you kind of have an idea that this is just like a family tradition to go to Cracker Barrel.
Oh yeah, we gotta go see Uncle Cracker.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't want to harp on them too much because they do let RVers park for free for the most part. And they don't give you any trouble.
That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Probably
What?
because it's a southern-based restaurant. In the south, they're a lot more sympathetic. Except uh, Florida and Texas, they're a little weird.
Yeah. They have like a saying or something about it. It's like Southern like hospitality or something like that. Cracker Barrel has that on like some of their signs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool because I could just park my trailer there and then I'd walk around the Cracker Barrel. And by the end of my trip, I already knew where all the outlets on a standard Cracker Barrel would be on the outside. So I had these car battery chargers and a bunch of car batteries, and I just set them out on, like, between their landscape and kind of try and hide them, and then hook up the car batteries and charge car batteries so I could use my inverter in the trailer to just like charge my laptop and watch movies and stuff like that, or just run the trailer because I had like a water pump and a bathroom and stuff like that with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I found this like water key that just happened to fit most of the city water keys that I ran into, so I just used that to fill up like those big jugs you'd use at like an office for the water dispenser. I just bought a couple of those and I'd fill them up at random taps and then fill the trailer. So I had like water in a washroom and power for most of the trip.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it was good. I don't have it anymore.
You don't have it anymore? You know, it's illegal to carry those.
Pardon?
Said it's illegal to carry those.
To carry what?
If you get caught with that, the water keys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird because you can like buy them at a hardware store and stuff, can't you?
Yeah, I know. You can buy a lot of illegal things at stores.
Huh.
Funny how that works, yeah?
I guess it just depends where you are, right? Like if you get like a
Same for all states, but
like if you get like a Slim Jim, you know, like the one you open cars with or stuff like that. Like if you're a lockpick guy and you have it at your shop, 100% legal. But if you're in a yard at night full of cars, they probably won't be too happy about it.
exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Same with like switchblades in California and stuff like that. You can still buy them. It's just they're illegal. You can
Huh.
buy with them on the street and put you in jail for that. They will fine you. That's the very least.
There was a point in Canada when weed got legalized that it was like that, where there would be just full dispensaries that you could go to and buy weed as an adult. But then every like couple weeks, the SWAT team would come and kick in their door, take all their cash and their weed,
Yeah.
and then they'd
I
just
worked at one of those.
restart. Oh yeah, how was that?
For about 3 months. Well, okay, we got raided once, and that was an experience. But okay, so the guy, the owner of the place, the owner of the place, he was a little weird. Okay, so like, I got along with him really well because I made him a lot of money, and right at the tail end of it, I walked in to his office. To him and this one of the girls that worked there, she was underage, she was 17, and they were doing stuff. So I walked in, saw what was going on, and I slowly backed out and shut the door. Next day he calls me and says, "I'm sorry, we're going to have to let you go."
Okay,
So, yeah.
that sucks.
So yeah, that was an experience. Yeah. And then we got raided that one time, so I figured, you know, it's not the best place to work. It's good money though.
Yeah. Huh. I guess like I don't know, at a certain point of like crossing the like normal bounds, people just get wrapped up in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty messed up to be messing around with underage employees. What?
Yeah, and so here's the funny thing too. He was in Vernon, B.C., and he's actually running for mayor now. So
He's running one there?
no, yeah. So he owns 2 of them, but he's running for mayor.
Oh, okay. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. He
Huh.
was in with all the bikers and all that. And if you know anything about Kelowna and basically the entire Okanagan, it's all bikers. Bikers and religious people.
What kind of bikers? Like, are they outlaws? Like HA? What kind of groups he got there?
Yeah, mostly HA. There's some, what's the name of those guys? The ones that are like right underneath Hells Angels, I forget their names. They're not as well known, but there's some of those guys there, but they work for the Hells Angels, so it's mostly Hells Angels.
Okay. Yeah, I've had
Yeah.
like buddies around like Kingston and Ottawa and stuff like that that were they were pretty familiar with the bikers there.
Yeah.
One dude I welded a boat trailer for, he was telling me about how his neighbor got involved with them, and then he like found this ATV just parked on his property with the keys in it, and it was like part of this, like the cops came later that night, but that ATV was part of this like big scheme to like kill their neighbor, and like eventually the dude did get killed. But he was saying he just like heard noises outside and went out with a bat, and he like after he saw the ATV and the cops came, then he just like rethought his like open house design, because he was saying that like a sniper could just see him through any window in his house or something like that.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
I grew up around bikers. I don't like them. I have no respect for them.
No? What do you not like?
All right. Well, first of all, when I was young, my dad, he was an undercover police officer, and he told me all these stories about them. He worked mostly with the Hells Angels, like he infiltrated them and all that. And one of the stories really stuck out to me. Okay, so he was sitting on the couch next to all these other bikers, and on the floor there was this baby crawling around with a really full diaper.
Okay.
There was a gun on the floor. It was a 357 Magnum. It was loaded. So the kid crawls over to it and starts playing with it. But now my dad, sitting there watching this, he can't do anything about it because that'll give away his cover. So, he's sitting there like, what am I going to do about this? And that always stuck with me because, like, they live such disheveled lives, They have no regard for anybody's safety. Like, if they have a shootout, they don't care who they're hitting, But I don't really have respect for any gang members of any kind. It's just, why? You don't need to be that violent. And if you're going to do that, don't bring it to innocent people,
Yeah.
It hurts me.
Yeah, with the kid, that's pretty weird, because I'd think, like, if you're just hanging out with, like, your quote-unquote buddies, and their kid picks up a loaded gun, that you'd be like, oh, hey, buddy, like, I'm gonna take that from you, even out of, like, a gesture of respect to the person whose kid that is.
Yeah, well, they were all on methamphetamine the whole time, so they didn't care.
Okay.
Another world,
Yeah.
And that happens a lot. That was a specific set of the Hells Angels. The lady that he was after was the head of that group, and they were known for being a little more out there than the regular Hells Angels. So that's why he was tasked to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were saying it's your dad that was an undercover cop?
Yeah. He worked in San Francisco. He was undercover for about a year and a half.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What, like, did he have any other crazy stories from that?
Well, he took down a pedophile ring. A small one, but a pedophile ring. And then he did a few Hells Angel jobs. And then another job that I can't remember the specifics of right now, but it was only about a year and a half that he did it. And he got a lot accomplished, but, it was a short period of his life.
Okay. When I was in the military, I worked with a dude whose job was to just go over videos that people sent to each other in these, like, online weird pedo groups and actually confirm whether, like, it was children or not.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he was saying too, like you have a database of just signatures of the videos that people have made already, but if they don't match up, then you just gotta like see what they sent. And he said that that definitely left a mark on him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nasty, nasty world sometimes, you know, and there's got to be good men out there to be able to fight back against that. Else it's just going to run rampant.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, overall though, being in the military isn't like bad for vagabonding kind of, because you can just live in the shacks and like just exist in different parts of the world while you're getting paid by the government. I'd imagine being a cop is kind of like that too.
I thought about the military, but I have long hair, and it's a cultural thing, so I'm never going to cut it.
Yeah.
You have to cut your hair to go into the military, so.
Joining Canada, they have a can forgen where you don't have to cut your hair or anything. Like you can have like a ponytail or whatever you want, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
it was a couple years ago. It was after I left. Or not a couple years ago, maybe like a year and a half or something. They changed the rules up. Like you can dye your hair and like have piercings and all kind of stuff in the military now.
Hmm.
Even when I was there, weed got legalized and they let us smoke weed. So we would just get out to this like part that was the smoke pit, and I everyone bought lawn chairs, and it would just be a group of like 10 to 20 people in a big circle, just all with bongs, and we would just sit outside for like 4 or 5 hours every day, just shooting the shit and getting super baked after work.
That's hilarious.
And you could see it from like the officers, like the commandant's room and whatever, like from the main building of the base. And they wanted to move it at one point, and they had like this kind of like movement or like request to move it, and then a bunch of like sergeants and master corporals, they were just like, no, like let the boys be boys, like we don't want this to change, like just let them have their fun. And we never got moved.
That's good for morale, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's so Canada to do that. That's funny.
Yeah. In the US, you can't join the military if you smoke weed, right?
No, they test you and all that. Yeah, they're pretty stringent in the United States. You gotta shave your face, you gotta shave your head, you gotta adhere to all the standards, you gotta pass tests,
Yeah.
physicals, and all that. Yeah.
It has its place. Like, if you want people to just be drones to run on for you.
Well, I mean, if you look at America's military history, I'm not surprised. You know, they love just throwing bodies at places to try and see if they could take it over, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
They do. So, yeah. But, no, I wanted to be a merchant marine, so I looked more into that. I'm still deciding whether that's something I want to do. But, you know, I mean, working in the restaurant, I haven't worked in a restaurant in a while, and it gave me this spark that maybe one day I could start a restaurant, you know?
That'd be
My
cool.
dad's from Philly, and he knows how to make authentic Philly cheesesteaks, like the real deal. So I figured I'd start with that, maybe get like a food truck going on or something, and then I could feed the homeless people on the side, you know?
Yeah, that would be cool. Food trucks, how I don't know about a lot about the business model or anything like that, but depending on the area, they seem to do pretty well.
Yeah, I remember in Nashville there was like, I don't know, I want to say like 50 of them downtown. They all were in business. They all had people going there, and it looked like they were doing pretty well. So,
Yeah, even when I went to DC, there was just like 30 or 40 like food trucks around like the
next to the park there with the Washington Monument.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
There are a ton of them, and I don't know, it was like so condensed, but if they're surviving, they must be doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I used to do fire protection work for kitchens, like to sign off on like the fire inspection for their fire suppression system. So I've seen like a couple different kitchens, even like food trucks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's
It's a good industry to be in. You know, it's tough.
Pardon?
It's good for hard workers. It's a good industry to be in.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Hardworking people, and there's a lot of felons that work, and like people that are of that type of lifestyle that work in kitchens because they're accepted there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot like the trades, kind of.
Yeah. They're a lot more accepting of different colors of people. You know,
Yeah.
which is cool.
The trades is cool. Like, I met a bunch of people that have done pretty serious bids before in jail. Like, a lot of them, too, we end up becoming pretty good friends. Like, I don't really, like, judge them for that, you know? Everyone's does dumb shit at some point. And that concludes another episode of the Moonbase podcast. Stay tuned for part 2 of this discussion, which should be posted shortly. Not today or tomorrow, but in a few days for sure. So stay tuned.